Hello John Deere snowmobile fans. I probably should have made a video of this sooner. I have a 1984 John Deere Snowfire. I should have took some better before and after pictures. As you can tell, it's pretty well roached out. The skis are burnt out. Tunnel's got a little bend in it. Just took the track out of it here. This is my new replacement hood. The original hood was destroyed. Here's the original seat. This is the clutches, took off. Got the suspension completely blown apart. In the middle of, next I'm gonna take the gas tank off it. And I'm gonna take this whole belly pan off as well. I'm gonna drill out all these rivets on this belly pan and replace it. I got a better one over here. It's not all busted out. I got a better bumper for it too. The original bumper was all mangled. I have some better skis for it as well. This is my parts sprint fire I'm stealing from here. Taking parts off it to bring the Snowfire back to life. Should be a halfway decent sled here when we're done with it. It's actually not in terrible shape. The hardest fight was trying to get the drive shaft out for the track. Battled us pretty hard. Bearing was seized on and it was not looking to give up the ghost. It had made itself home there for the last 40 years, so it was not feeling it. But we're moving right along. I'll try to update you with some progress as we go. Here's the bottom end of the Snowfire motor. This is its original motor. The crank actually looked really good for a sled that had been sitting out in the weeds for 20 years. As you can tell, the Y pipe got cracked off and re-welded back on at some point. I'm missing a nut too. I'll have to put one on it. I didn't want to split the top end. It had 130 pounds of compression on both sides, right and left. So I just split the bottom end and cleaned up the bottom case. That's why it's such a color difference. Normally I would, if I was going to restore the sled, normally I would totally blow this motor apart. But I really didn't want to go that far down because the sled was in really tough shape to begin with. It's not too far gone, but it could easily be restored. I'm just not looking to go that deep on it yet. Maybe later I will. It had spark and ran on spray, so I'm just trying to not dig into it too deep. Normally I would split this motor and reseal it if I was going to fully restore this sled. There comes a time where you got to say uncle, where there's just, you can only stick so much money into it with the purchase of the sled and trying to resurrect one from the grave, where otherwise you're just, there's no such thing as making money in vintage snowmobiling. It's always it's a hobby, it's a loss. But there's a time though too where enough's enough, where you just gotta see if you can skate by just a little bit. If you're not gonna make it a Pebble Beach restoration, if that's the term you want to use. Another late night on the Snowfire project here. Just thought I'd give you guys an update. Had a heck of a fight with the gas tank, trying to get the gas tank out. It was, these little inserts were all rusted and corroded and they would not come out. That held the tank in, so it took a little bit of cutting wheel to get them out. Right now soaking the tunnel in bulkhead with WD-40 to get this oil to break up before pressure washing. Trying to just get as much done as we can. Drilled out all the rivets in the belly pan. I had to strip the decals off. This is not going to be a restoration. This is going to be more of a mechanical restoration, but I am going to put new tunnel decals on it and replace and get this decal, or not decal, I guess, plastic insert. Got all the skis blown apart. Got ski insulators coming, wear rods for the skis. Gonna reuse the old rusty shocks. I'm not gonna invest money into new shocks. I don't want to spend that much into it. Got crank seals in the motor. Found a recoil and a recoil basket. Rebuilt the recoil and the rewind. Go over here. Went through the suspension here and added grease zerks to it. so it doesn't seize again. And I welded this up because this was all cracked out. This was actually broken. I hit it with a sandblaster. I was told by another guy in the John Deere community that they break. This is the first snow fire I've ever fully restored, or not even restored, I guess they mechanically overhauled. So I didn't know really what to look for, but I guess these are known to break, and sure enough, I sandblasted it and it was all cracked out. Mine was breaking as well. Just trying to do a, the old DuPont overhaul here with the spray paint, Polish touch-up, if you want to call it that. And just trying to make it look a little decent. Got a hold of a new limiter strap as well for it. I got to get that out. But yeah, just kind of putting along here, trying to make progress. Still waiting to try to get this secondary off this Sprint Fire part sled here. This thing is seized on there. It's been soaking for days with Croil in it, and it has not let go, which is surprising. I'm thinking about taking the drivers out of this here and putting them in the snow fire, but I don't know for sure if that's something I want to do. Apparently these are a little taller, gives you a little better top speed. It's kind of a modification guys with snow fires do, I guess. So yeah, that's where we sit. I'll keep adding along this long chain of video. Hopefully it's not too boring. I know it's kind of a quick, brief run through. I should probably just set up a camera one of these times and just kind of record as I go, but it's just another hassle, Thanks again. Appreciate you guys for watching. Here we are back in the 1984 snow fire project. Not sure what day we were on. We got the belly panel painted and reinstalled. It's off a Sprint Fire, so it didn't line up the best as I had hoped. Fought and put the skid in it, got the skid completely freed up, added grease zerks to it, just kind of spray painted it. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. Got a new limiter strap in the back. All the bolts came free, so I greased up all the bolts. I had the skid completely apart. I did not put new slides on it. I don't know how many miles I'm gonna ride on it. It is a snow fire. It's not a real quick machine. It's kind of an entry-level machine in a sense. Put brand new Timken bearings in it, new grade 8 hardware, since the original hardware was all rusty. Had the shaft machined and repaired at the local machine shop. Same with the other side here. Brand new bearings, shafts all touched up, remachined. So hopefully it should go a lot better. Had the steering all apart and greased up to get it to work. Took the steering stem completely out. Because up here it was actually seizing this rubber grommet from sitting outside in the weeds for the last 20 years. Excuse my slight hiccup there. Slowly working away. The tunnel was pretty chewed out, hence why these really big washers. I also had, I bought a nutsert kit from Harbor Freight, and I add nutserts so I can get the fuel tanks off later on. It's actually kind of a cool kit. It's got a handle and it threads in. It's like $60 from Harbor Freight. It works really well. Unfortunately, the tunnel is a little rotted out here, so these are sitting a little crooked, so I'll probably have to modify the holes a little bit to make them work, but it'll work. But it's not the prettiest sled in the world, but it'll be cool when it's done. Some parts are still readily available from John Deere, like this is the exhaust spring, the M48858. It's the big spring that goes over the exhaust right here. You can still buy it brand new. It was like $16. So this sled was missing its spring, so this bumper's off a Sprint Fire, so it's nice and straight compared to the original one, which is all twisted. Got the skis all spray painted up here. We're going for that 50-footer look where it looks good from 50 feet away, but when you get up close and you look at it and you start to wonder if the guy was blind when he painted it. So that's what we're kind of going for with this. At least kind of slow the rust down is kind of my goal. I'm going to reuse the same rusty front ski shocks. Right now the running total on the sled is purchased a sled for $350. I think I've got with the windshield and new bearings and machine shop work, I think we got another 600 into parts into this thing, and we kind of know the motor's gonna run, but we don't know if it's really gonna run, if that makes sense. So hopefully we can get this thing back together here. It's a pretty desirable sled, as you guys know. There's 276 of these were built, so it's kind of a cool machine to fix to get back to life. I do have to invest in a seat cover yet. The original seat here it's seen better days. We're gonna try to fix it. So that's another $100. So it'll probably be over $1,200 by the time I'm done, I'm guessing, figuring. But it should be pretty much mechanically sound. I think I'm gonna 102C swap it too. I think I'm gonna put a sprint fire primary clutch on it. I just like the 102s better than Duster. I think the Duster's kind of crude, but that's just my personal opinion. But that's where we are. I'll kind of keep you guys posted. Sorry I didn't make a video building the skid. I should have done that, but yeah, this is where we're at. We're rolling right along on the 84 Snow Fire project. We've got now the secondary installed. We've got the brake rotor. We're adding a speedometer kit to it. I know it is pretty rusty stuff. It's all used off a sprint fire. I did have to add a new driver in there. Put new brake pads in it. Adjusted the brake. We loosened this jam nut to get that free so we could clock it in there by hand, and then we tighten this jam nut back up so that this hex lined up with the arm so that the brakes now work. They move. Got the muffler bracket installed. That's off a sprint fire. Some shiny nuts on there for hardware. The motor itself was a little bit of a wrestle. We forgot that there is big washers on the back behind here. So I pulled it back out and put them back in. Also learned a lesson as we riveted the belly pan on, forgot to put the long bolts in. So I had to take the bumper back off, take a ski back off, and put the bolts back in through the bottom. So a lesson learned on that one. Skis weren't on last time, the skis are on now. Like I said, they were kind of a 50-foot ski job. They're, you know, spray powder coated. I mean, not powder coated, spray paint. Poor man's powder coat. Put new wear rods on it from New Breed. They kind of were a struggle to put in, actually, but took 2 people to wrestle them in there. I don't know if these were the right ones. He had several variations, and I'm not sure if I bought the exact right ones. They do fit. I know there's only 2 bolts through, and the originals had 3, but they work. I mean, they're going to be just fine. Put new pins up in here, new spindle bushings, a bunch of anti-seize on them. Anti-seize these bolts here, so if for some reason those shocks if I want to replace them down the road, or somebody else does, they can get them out. Got the track adjusted and tightened in. Got these rivets in here in the back. I don't have the recoil on yet. Will at some point. I gotta go hunt the stash of junk parts to try to find an emblem for that. Slowly but surely, we're starting to look like a sled. I do a little light repair here. Somebody couldn't figure out how to take the pins, I guess, out of these harnesses, so they just cut it off. I did not do that. We're just going to try to patch it as best we can. Butt splices usually aren't the best route, but with this old wire, for some reason, electrical solder does not like to bond. So this is what I go with for a repair, I guess is the term. You can see this Y pipe was welded too at one point. I might have said that in the motor video. I can't remember, but the Y pipe was repaired. I'm gonna have to do a little custom work on the muffler too yet. That's gonna be a little cutting and welding and trying to get the muffler to fit the hole so it doesn't burn the belly pan like it did on the original pan when they cut it the first time. You can see they did all they could on the original belly pan to make this work. It looks like they must have hit some kind of rock or something with it, but we'll get it bent and re-welded at an angle so at least it looks somewhat presentable till I can find another pipe. Should be fine. see how it goes. Got the hood made up, but we got that in a different area at the moment, so I'll have to bring that in later. It's not a great hood, but it's way better than the original hood, which was all smashed to pieces. So hopefully we can keep thrashing away on it here, and maybe it'll run sometime this weekend, or if not, maybe sometime next weekend or a couple weeks from now. We're back with the 84 Snowfire. This is the finished product here. We're out on the snow here a little bit, doing a little bombing around with it. New graphics, seat cover off of eBay. It turned out okay. I mean, it's got some wrinkles in the back by the tail light, but it kind of is what it is in that regard. New gas gauge. Cleaned the tank out. It was full of varnish. Used a couple bottles of acetone to get that clean. Seems to run okay. You know, it starts amazing. Hood's not perfect, but it's way better than the original hood. Put a speedometer in it from a Sprint Fire in it from parts. So that's actually the Sprint Fire's mileage, 3,847. But it turned out pretty good, I think, for a sled that was pretty rough shape that had been sitting for 25 years. At least 25 years. 1994 was the last registration date.